Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're back with another Boston Celtics video. Tuesday, November 4th, after their loss to the Jazz. Stu Greeny put out this tweet going over some of the stats through the first 8 games. 30th in pace, 30th in assist percentage, 30th in free throw rate. I'm not going to read all of these, but you're watching on YouTube. You guys can see all of these. They're last or close to it in a lot of categories, yet 14th defensive rating, 14th net rating, 18th offensive rating. Celtics are missing a lot of shots. I wrote an article off the Jazz game last night. Celtics are generating a lot of open and wide open threes this season. I think they're like 9th in generated wide open threes this season per game, and they're shooting 37% on those, which isn't awful. It's 18th, I think, around there. But they're second in open threes per game, which is close to defender 4 to 6 feet away. Wide open is 6+ feet away. But on those wide open ones, they're generating the second most per game, and they're hitting 27% of them, or 29% of them, which is horrible. It's like 25th in the NBA. So they're getting good threes. They just can't make shots right now. And we can look at some of the shots against the Jazz and where it went wrong. I just rewatched the full third quarter against Utah, and I'm
Was it
hoping to
fun?
have a video on it today. I mean, the shooting wasn't the problem. It was a problem, but the problem is they couldn't play defense after a miss. Their transition defense was like abysmal. Like I counted, and again, hopefully this video is out by now, but this is a rough estimate because I obviously could have missed stuff. This Jazz scored 38 points in the third quarter. 19 were directly because the Celtics defense was out of whack after a miss, and 24, including that 19, 24 were just because they weren't in the defensive stance they needed to be in to play their chaotic defense. So it was just a complete mess. Like they couldn't make shots, and it killed them defensively. So we can watch some of those threes in the third quarter to see what went wrong in the offense, but I mean, making shots is just going to solve so many problems at both ends of the floor.
It really just feels that simple, which is why a lot of this stuff so far has been so frustrating and so weird to experience, like watching it, because it's not like they're doing the exact same thing as last year, because there are certain times like where they cannot get past the primary attack defender. Like they truly cannot penetrate the defense. But at the end of the day, like they're still swinging the ball around a lot of possessions and finding the open shooter, and the ball is just not going in. And these are guys who have proven that they can shoot the ball. It's not like you're relying on, it's not like Josh Minot is taking 10 threes a game. And it's like, well, yeah, duh. He's like a sub 30% career 3-point shooter. Of course he's not making these threes. It's like, no, it's like guys that are near 40% 3-point shooters, and they cannot find the ocean with the ball. So I'm interested to see this stuff. I'm so intrigued by just the lack of correlation, or like correlation where they're ranked last in all these categories, yet they're still middle of the pack of net rating. Like they should be towards the absolute worst because they're so bad at all this stuff, but that is not what the stats tell you. And maybe it simply is like the shots go in, assist percentage becomes better, the effective field goal percentage obviously becomes better. Like those things do get tied together, and it's easy to raise them all at once if that one thing does change. So they've got to be due sooner or later. Like if you want to look at the sample size of when shots go in, which seems like the dumbest basketball stat ever, because it's like, duh, of course you're going to play better when shots are going in. I mean, they beat the Cavs because they were able to match the 3-point efficiency, and they never quite fell off. Like they had a slower second half, but they still finished the game decent from three. And it was one of their better performances, especially in the first half, which is why they were able to keep pace and also pull away before the halftime buzzer with the Cavs team that was red hot.
Yeah, I think for what it's worth, a big part of their offense still being like not terrible is the Celtics are really good at offensive rebounding themselves. Like they are 6th in the NBA in second chance points per game. So like that's lifting them up a little bit in terms of their scoring. But I'll pull up these threes here. I do not worry, but I think what's going to get lost in a lot of these clips, and I can pull up maybe the full game if we want to. It's less, in my opinion,
leading up to it.
Yeah, like John Corrales was asked about it after the game. He talks about like, oh, you guys are taking a lot of early threes. Honestly, I don't think they're taking enough early threes. I think they're taking so many late in the shot clock threes because the offense just gets to a point where it's a disaster and they have to get a quote unquote open three, but it's like just all awkward and weird. These are all the threes from the third quarter and on, like Sam Hauser pass, kick, find in the corner. Like it's contested, Sam Hauser has made the shot a million times this season, right? Like this isn't
Yes.
ideal, maybe, but it's not like he just pulled up. They swung, he rotated, he got it, kicked in the corner, right? Fine, whatever. Transition opportunity. Hauser gets out, finds Pritchard, swings it back to Hauser again. Like, I mean, it's Sam Hauser wide open, 2 feet behind the line.
He's in rhythm.
Are we complaining with this shot with Sam Hauser?
No, not especially not the way he shot over the last couple games. Like he's been mostly very good over the past week.
And I know there's going to be some people watching this video that are like, it's 19 seconds, work for something better. I just need you to keep that in mind as we keep watching. Trust me. Okay. Boom. Misses. Jazz get the rebound, whatever. 17, 16. Garza passes to White. Derek, wide open 3. I mean, like, gets a late contest off. Listen, it's a late contest, but this is an open 3. It's objectively an open 3-pointer.
When he picks the ball up, he's open.
He gets a late contest, but there's like I'm not complaining at the shot. We can bicker if you want, but I'm not going to complain at that shot.
He's also been traditionally, not this season, but traditionally very good off those like handoff one dribble shot. Like that is a look Derek White has made so many times in the past.
I'd be more concerned if Derek stops taking that shot. I'll put it that way.
I think there's part of this where I think he needs to add like some sort of getting to the floater off of this to his game. I think that would benefit him, especially like in moments where he is struggling, like he's been so far. Like we've talked about Peyton Pritchard and how well he's been able to adjust.
Where's the floater though?
Maybe it's not the floater. Maybe it's you manage to get the ball to Garza on the roll if you take an extra dribble or something. Like you enable, and then Garza can kick out. Well, it's Ugo. So I don't know. This is all grasping at straws like on this, and this isn't the specific play. Like I don't know if I hate this in this scenario, but I think overall there's room for him to put a little bit more pressure on the defense. Him as an individual, by the way, this isn't like I think every time they have a 3-pointer they should go and drive. It's more of he's struggling, and I think he might be able to get himself going if he's doing a little bit more than having to just only take threes. And I don't even want to say settling for threes because it's a lot of what he's being asked to do. But I think what's helped Peyton Pritchard kind of find his momentum a little bit. He wasn't great from 3 yesterday, but he made 4 of 11. Like he has still kept himself going on offense by running the pick and roll, getting to the paint, getting to his spots where he's really comfortable from, even more so than the 3. And it's helped him remain effective despite his cold shooting.
White's taken and made that shot for the last 5 years. I'm not going to complain at it. I'm just going to.
I'm not trying to complain about that shot specifically.
I know, but that's a fine 3. Take that 3 every time. That's all I'm saying. Luka, that wide open 3. He just missed, and they get the ball back because Hendricks was out of bounds. 19 seconds. Jaylen Brown's going to come off this here.
Wide open.
Miss, clank, Jazz run. End up getting an open shot. Spoiler alert. Here. All right, now we're getting into it. 8 seconds on the shot clock when they start this action to try to find something here. 8 seconds. Disaster possession. Simons has to take this because there's 4 seconds. And he misses, obviously, and then the Jazz run. I can try to find this if you want to watch what actually happened leading up to that.
Yeah, I'm a little curious because my instinct before anything was to be like, I feel like with Simons on the floor, it takes them a lot longer to get into what they want to because it's almost like he looks to see if he can beat his defender.
Your lead shoulder ahead of the deep.
Okay, so that was 4:37-ish. So was the possession before this one. Okay, here we go. So Simons starts with the ball.
Here we go.
And he dribbles and he
tick,
dribbles.
Tick, 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 tick. Okay. There it goes to Derek. Then there's more ticking. He can't beat his guy off the dribble either.
So, Anthony Simons spent the first, 10 seconds of the possession trying to dribble around Keontae George.
Yep. And then they give Derek White a turn.
Not only that, it takes him 6 seconds to get the ball up the floor.
He's struggled with that all year for some reason.
Like they're just lollygagging. I'm just gonna dribble. Keontae George, all right, let me go. Nothing's happening in this corner, by the way. This is fucking terrible spacing. You have 3 Celtics on this side of the court. Dude, what are we doing? And then by the time Derek White gets the ball, it's 14 seconds left on the shot clock, and nobody's here to set a screen for him. Dead possession. Dead. Gone. Possession's gone. So that three's dead. Here again, 11 seconds left, and the Celtics are here. All right, well, 4:17. Let's go take a look back over here. 4:17, what happened? Right? So, excuse me, 24 seconds. Peyton Pritchard gets the ball in the backcourt. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Takes Derek a million years to get over there. And boom, we're getting into the action at 14 seconds. And we're not even yet.
Here, you can kind of see
12
what you were
seconds.
talking about on the show last night, too, where Derek cutting across the floor to get this ball, he doesn't get the help of a great screen. Like,
Awful
watch
screen.
this. The
Here you
defender
go. Here's Nemi.
is like, Nemi is like wet paper. Nothing. Ace Bailey got right around it. They were able to switch Pritchard's man onto him. And then there's no separation. They get a deep three. This was much of the third quarter where it was just like it felt like the ball never got past the 3-point line, and there was no pressure put on anyone to actually have to guard their man, except for like Anthony Simons trying really hard to get past this guy and then just giving up and putting the rest of the team behind for a while.
I watched a good chunk of this game. I looked at some of the runs. Without Neemias Queta on the court, disaster. Nemi wasn't good in the second half. I can't even express how badly Garza and Tillman and Boucher got fried on defense. Just oh my god! If Neemias Queta wasn't in the paint, the Celtics were going to get scored on. Period. That's it. It was insane to watch. And Neemias, I don't think Queta was particularly great in this game, but if he wasn't on the court, the Celtics. I mean, he was a plus 15 for a reason, and I was confused about it after the game. I saw it. They couldn't play defense when Nemi was on the court. It was disgusting. Here's another one. Oh, this one's broken. This shows a Jazz 3 instead of a Celtics 3. I remember this. Okay, so here you go. 20 seconds. They push the pace. Look at that. They push the pace, and what happens? Open 3. Butt naked. Wide open 3 in rhythm. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Okay, 106. 10 seconds here, and they're just trying to beat a guy one-on-one. And he gets this like step back, which is like fine. It's not great, but like he creates the space, right? That's the point I'm making. Like it's not a good shot, but at least it's not like a contested or a particularly deep 3. It's just a tough 3 because he steps back. But I'll try to find this possession so we can watch what happens leading up to it.
This has been a really fun exercise because we just watch. We like take the cover off of each shot and we're like, okay, let's see why this actually ended up being terrible. The ones that have been tough shots. Like this Pritchard 3 is like inexplicably tough. I think at this point, by the way, Jalen had done a great job of like putting his will into this game and really getting the Celtics back up to speed after being on the bench. We're going to find out what happened on this possession. Okay, perfect.
Here you go.
Feels like there should have been. Okay, here we go.
They're walking. We're walking. 20 seconds, 19 seconds, 18 seconds, 17 seconds, 16 seconds. First 10 seconds of the shot clock, nothing happens. Nothing in the possession. And then Pritchard sets a screen, gets a guard on him, and then they set another screen to get the same matchup they just had back. But this was a useless possession. What happened here? This was nothing.
I'm glad like I've been proven not to be crazy when I just felt like they never touched the paint when this was all going to shit in the third quarter, rather.
Yeah. I don't know what this was. Like, I don't know why. Like, what were the point?
Yeah, they just they hit the undo. This play is called Control Z. That's what this is.
They didn't even set a screen. Like neither of those screens actually connected. And then it was a mess. And then they didn't get this fucking rebound. And then there's 3 Celtics in the backcourt. And then the Jazz get a wide open 3. I remember this. I watched this. If they don't get like, you can't have 3 guys in the backcourt going for the offensive rebound or a steal and then not get it. Like it's just a bucket. You just give out points.
This is literally what happens on like the 2K Rec Center. Like one of your teammates is just in the backcourt spamming the steal button, trying to get a passing lane steal, and then your team is shorthanded and you give up a wide open 3. Like exactly this.
It was bad offensive process. And for what it's worth, all the bad offensive process threes we've watched were only like 4 minutes and under. Like all the threes at the start that we sped through a little bit, fine, right? By and large, it's just it got a little wonky towards the end of the quarter, and it's because they just stopped pushing the pace.
You know what's weird about this shot chart?
I don't know, man.
I don't know how relevant this is to the season, but it looks like they only took like 5 corner threes. All of the rest of the threes are just at the top of the key. Does that speak to the lack of pressure they were able to actually put on the Jazz defense to actually get them in rotation where the corner guy would be open to shoot these threes? Or does that not really mean anything?
Maybe. I don't know. I would need to look into the stats. Like, what if the Jazz just don't give up a lot of corner threes? What if they just don't sell out from the corners? Like, that could be very possible. I don't really know enough about the Jazz defense. I can take a look quick before we wrap here, but I mean, it was just bad process, man. I don't know really what else to say. I think the offensive process is a little slow, a little laggy down the stretch, especially in that third quarter when things flipped. I think the Celtics just didn't get the ball up quick enough. I don't know. I think there's certainly like I don't think they got disastrous threes for a lot of the quarter, but no, the Jazz give up 11 corner threes a game this season, which is like third most in the NBA. So I don't know why the Celtics didn't generate them. I wonder if the Celtics just aren't generating a lot of corner threes this season. The Celtics this year are generating the 4th fewest corner threes per game. Yeah, at 7.
What were they the last couple seasons? Can you look at that quickly, or is it going to take you a while?
I know I can look quickly. Last season they generated. Excuse me, it's just loading. They were middle of the pack. They generated 9.6 last season. They're at the 7 this year. So they dropped from like 15 to 25. So it's like a steep drop off, but it's like 2 threes a game from the quarter. Yeah.
Well, it remains a bad loss. As you're listening to this, hopefully tonight's game against the Wizards goes a little bit better. Really, really, I would say surprising loss on Monday. And we're starting to kind of dive into why. Anything else, Jack? Or should I wrap it up?
That's all I got. Appreciate your opportunity.
Not mad, just
let us know what you
disappointed.
think. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps morning after each game. Other videos like this one are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All podcasts and recaps are there. So if you just want those, good follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do the show, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's. For Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's One NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.